Hello, everyone. It's Justin here. I was just gonna talk about how to communicate with kids. I think the reason I'm able to communicate with kids is because I don't have any. And if it sounds like I'm saying this because the script is because I just made this video and Anyway, here, look, cat. Stay entertained. Oh, he's uncomfortable. He's camera shy. He's camera shy.
Because you've got it right in his
So
face.
cute. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so once upon a time, I was dating this girl, Rachel. And Rachel loved her daughter a lot. I mean, a lot, a lot. It was so cute. Actually, the motherly love she had for her daughter, and her daughter was adorable. Um, I was actually considering marrying Rachel, who I could not stand. To be honest with you, I couldn't stand her at all. Um, but I loved her daughter very much, and her daughter did not have a good mother. She didn't, and her daughter treated her very well. I taught her a lot of things. Um, I just loved that kid, and I wanted her to have a good parent, a good role model. And it was difficult to see her mother, Rachel, had this block of communication with her daughter. She didn't understand that kids communicated differently. And a lot of you parents out there, you seem to forget through time. I mean, that you cannot communicate with a child the same way you communicate with other people. Um, so one day we were all walking out the door. I think we were gonna going to I think we were gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese or something. And all of a sudden her daughter starts crying. She's like, so and so hit me." And Rachel looked down. She's like, "What are you talking about? He's not even here. Go, um, come on, let's go, 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 go." And I looked at Rachel. I was like, "Rachel, stop." It's like your daughter is crying, trying to tell you something for a reason. So I was just surprised. So I go down there and it's like, "Sweetie, what do you mean this person hit you?" She's like, "So and so." I look at Rachel. I was like, "Do you know who this is?" She's like, "Well, it's this guy's kid, and they play, but she hasn't seen her, we haven't seen them in a week." I said, "Okay." And I was like, I asked the daughter, I was like, "So he hit you?" She's like, "Mm-hmm." I was like, "How did he hit you? Where?" She tells me and shows me. I was like, "Well, that wasn't very nice." She's like, "Mm-mm." It was just so cute. I was like, she was making pouties, and I I asked Rachel. I said, what was going on?" She said, "Well, it was this other kid's birthday." I looked at her. I was like, "Sweetie, was it at the birthday party?" She's like, "Yes." Then she gave information. She was able to give details, and Rachel's like, "Oh my gosh, I know what she's talking about." So that child was holding that with her, trying to communicate it to her mother for a week, and Rachel never listened. She was just always, "Oh, it's just a kid," and she was speaking to the other adults. Turned out that Rachel remembered when her daughter came to her crying at the birthday party and just wouldn't listen. She's like, "Just go play with someone else. You'll be fine." And her daughter held on to that. So finally, once I spoke to her, the little 5-year-old girl, she was finally able to get that off her chest. Same thing with my aunt. My aunt has some kids that she adopted, and with her was like a 9 or 10 year old girl, and she was just trying to talk to the adopted mother, my aunt, about what happened at school. My aunt keeps saying, "Well, what would Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't do this. Jesus wouldn't do that." Which, by the way, everything she said was wrong. Jesus was not a wussy and did not allow people to constantly badmouth him and crap like that. I'm sick and tired of people telling their kids, "Well, what would Jesus do? Just stand there and let them bully you and take it." So I listened to this child, and finally, she was able to get rid of all that tension and ease and aggression. She was very, very, what's the word? No. She had a lot of anxiety from this. Then there's my favorite story, a young man named Michael. Boy, I miss Michael. But there's a family I knew in Bakersfield. Horrible people. Horrible people. treated their kids terribly. They would have pornography on the TV in front of these kids. They would use every curse word. Their father actually took pride in teaching their kids how to steal from stores. Go to Walmart, put tools in a toolbox, and walk out with it. Shame on him. Shame on him. Disgusting. They had a young man, and this young man, Michael, they don't know who his father was, I don't think, as far as, no, they did. His uncle was a bad guy. He was put to jail, so he was living with these people. So these people were living, they always did con jobs, and these people living in a house, they had 8 or 9 children, something like that. One of them was Michael. Michael was very aggressive, always starting fights, and other adults would play with this kid, who, by the way, was 11 years old or 12 years old. He was 11 years old. Would play with him, like, oh, come here, little motherfucker, ha ha ha, and just really roughhouse with him. And one day, Michael is being out of control, and I'm at the house watching all the kids there. I told him to calm down. He looks at me and says, "You're not my father." I looked at this kid, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? I told him, no, I'm not your father. I'm a human being. I told him, what are you going to do when you grow up and you get a job and you do something wrong and your trainer says do it this way? You're going to look at him and say, you're not my dad. What are you going to do if some kid comes up here, bullies you, shoves you on the ground and beats you, and you tell him, get off of me, and he says, you're not my dad? Like, Michael, it doesn't matter if someone's your father or not. What matters is we are human beings and you're a human being. You have a brain to think, I have a brain to think, and I have every right and obligation to tell you as a human being to act also like a human being and stop acting out of control. This kid looks at me and goes, oh, yeah. Just snapped. He got it. That's all it took. That's all it took for this young man. Only moments later, him and I were best buds. The kid used to always drive me nuts. I loved him after that. Loved this kid. I started teaching him in school. He was getting F's all the time. The people watching him never, the Castellone family,
Yep.
they never taught him anything. Ever. So I started teaching him. He went to school and got straight A's the next day. Now, that's not saying anything about me. That's saying something about this young man, and these kids have the potential, but parents are not willing to listen anymore. They're not willing to put any effort into their children anymore. But we live in the world of, you know what? You don't live or fulfill your obligations. If you get pregnant, we'll just kill the child and have an abortion. Then you have people who have the child and still look at them like, well, just figure things out in life. I'm sure you'll get it. Parents aren't parents anymore. And it is so heartbreaking that we have wonderful children running around. Wonderful children who are capable of so much. And they're being abused in every way. Even in ways that are unintentional by parents who are just ignoring them. But if just listen to your kids. Ask questions. That's what they want. They want to be able to get things off their chest. That's what they want, and it's what they need. Otherwise, they'll never develop, and the world will just be full of more liberals.